There we go. There we go. Can you guys hear me now? We got any sound now? Still no sound? Jeremiah's in. There we go. Thanks, man. Sometimes we have technical difficulties. Appreciate that, Vince. Appreciate that, John. I don't know what was going on. I had to unplug and replug, so it is what it is. But as I was saying, there did nobody here. Hello, Mike. Mike Parker in the building. Um, Sixers got a road to hoe right now. They in crunch time. Thanks, Jeremiah. We are in crunch time right now. And Sixers came out games 3 and 4. Joel Embiid was back. They started balling, and they made things happen. But game 5, I don't know what the hell happened, but it looked like, I know all of the media up here in the Philadelphia area, I'm not sure what it's like in other parts of the country, but now it's like everybody thinks that Embiid was moping because he didn't win the MVP. So, thus the poll question: why didn't he win the MVP? My opinion is, obviously, he was second in the vote to Jokic. Jokic did some just outlandish stuff. At the end of the day, in my opinion, Embiid should have been the MVP. But Jokic put up historic NBA numbers, stuff that had never happened before. So you can't really ignore that. You can't ignore that. Mike, chill with the expletives, bro. I feel you, but let's keep it tame. But it's like you can't argue what Jokic did. I have no problem with them giving the MVP to Jokic. I still think Embiid was the better option because of what he did with his team. But there's an obvious argument that Jokic did the same thing. But in my opinion, here's the difference. When the Sixers played Brooklyn, we were Stephen Kelly. Good to see you, brother. When the Sixers played Brooklyn, the world was watching Philadelphia. We had just gotten over the Ben Simmons saga. We had gotten that handle. We had got James Harden. All was well in the world. We was talking smack. They was talking smack. We knew Ben Simmons wasn't going to play because he didn't want that smoke. Not from Philly. He didn't. We knew when it came time for us to go against Brooklyn, we knew Ben Simmons wasn't going to play. That was not a surprise. But the NBA world was watching Philadelphia, and we basically laid an egg. Joel Embiid was average at best. And in my opinion, because on the national stage, you didn't dominate. On the national stage, you didn't dominate. The games against Giannis, he was good. But if you want to be the MVP, good is the bar. You got to be better than that. And I'm just of the opinion that the opportunities where the world was watching Philadelphia, he didn't dominate and he didn't come through. He didn't have a performance where everybody was like, yeah, that's my MVP. He couldn't separate himself from Jokic. And that's what he needed to do. If he would have just, even if the Sixers would have lost and Embiid was dunking on everybody, you could still see like, yo, that dude came to play this year. Forget all of the dumb stuff, all of the injuries and all the talk about last season, this, that, and the other. He came to play, and he never established that dominance on the court. I think part of the problem is that he's not a post player. He's not a true center. He's more of a very large power forward. He's more of a much taller version of Hakeem Olajuwon. If we got any young folks that have never seen Olajuwon play, you need to hit up the YouTubes and check him out. 6'11", getting it done. Touch, finesse, speed, power, all of that. But in today's game, they live back at the three-point line. Ever since Nowitzki, you got 7-footers taking them threes. But when you had people like Tim Duncan, when you had Shaquille O'Neal, when you had Dwight, you had true centers. Yes, they could shoot the mid-range. Every now and then somebody would shoot a three, but for the most part, they played down low and they were banging the boards. And they established their dominance like this is where I'm supposed to be and can't nobody stop me. Can't nobody stop me. We had a whole era of hack-a-shack. Shaquille O'Neal was so dominant down low that the only way they could stop him was to foul him because they knew he wasn't good at shooting free throws. That's how dominant he was. Hakeem Olajuwon, he had no weakness. He could shoot free throws. He had touch. He had mid-range. He could dunk on you. Olajuwon had everything. Tim Duncan was much more like Olajuwon. Not as good, in my opinion, but Tim Duncan was almost as good. Same type of game. But Tim Duncan really wasn't a true center. David Robinson was the center on those teams until he retired, and then Tim Duncan took over. But Tim Duncan, I believe, was a power forward as well. He played center, but they moved him all around and stuff like that. Mike, the Dream would kill these fools today. So, in my opinion, that's why Embiid lost the MVP. And I don't know what it is about today's athletes in every sport. I know what it is. Let me rephrase that. I know exactly what the problem is. Everybody, regardless of what sport, regardless of what level, everybody has got to get that social media comment out. Back in the day, it's funny me sounding like the get off my yard old man. Back in the day when I played. But I got to think about it. I played in 1993. Windows 95 didn't exist yet. Years old. Get with me. So if you had something to say, you had to wait until all the reporters came in after the game, after practice, whatever, and they had to see you. So if they had something foul to say, excuse me, if they had something foul to say, they had to say it to your face. And if they did say something or write something, they still had to see you later on that week. So all these people that talked about you, eventually you would run up against, especially in the local media. National media is a different story. Now everybody's on Facebook. Everybody's got sources. Everybody's got, how does Adam Schefter get all of these hot tips and sources? He knows people. He's not making it up. He's got people that trust him and feed him information. What's up, Frank? So it's interesting how everybody gets in their feelings and they just put that stuff out there. And it's like, man, whatever happened to just bottling it up and taking it out on the other opponent? Now everybody Embiid complaining that they don't like Philadelphia. They got bias against Philly and the East Coast and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, that's the type of stuff we don't need to hear, because the one thing with social media is that will flip on you in a hot second. That will flip on you in a hot second. I saw something on a Kansas City Chiefs post, and they were talking about Patrick Mahomes' wife. And it's like, how come nobody likes Patrick Mahomes' wife? For the same reason all this other stuff happens. When you have a figure, a personality, or a something that gets out there and it gets overexposed, you get sick of seeing it. You get sick of seeing it. And then you fall into that category as that person that you hate. Patrick Mahomes' little brother, whatever his name is, Jackson or whatever. All the crazy stuff he was doing. Then it got to a point where people were sick of seeing him. Now every time you see him out, something bad always happens. Because he's either trying to act a nut, and then you got somebody on the other hand that's going, try to step to him or whatever the situation is. Sixers about to start. So let's get it popping. Let's go. Let's go. Here we come. Let's get it done. But he got to dominate tonight. It can't be no excuses about low energy and all of that kind of madness. We can't have that. We cannot have that today. So he's got to be on this horse. And he needs to dominate down low. He's going to get his shots outside, but he's got to get it up down low. William Middlebrook, what's going on, brother? Stats they did. Again, Bill, I ain't mad at you, and you ain't wrong. You are not wrong. So it is what it is. Sixers got to step up conditioning. Everyone's too cute. I don't think it's conditioning. I honestly think, even though there was word coming out that Embiid had found out about the MVP like a week and a half ago or something like that, he still looked lethargic out there. There's no reason. Here's my thing: if you're gonna call yourself the MVP, we expect an MVP effort. You have no excuses, because win or lose, it's all on you. If you win, you brought everybody up. If you lose, you brought everybody down, unless it's a situation where you go out swinging. When you go out swinging, you go back and you look at when Iverson took it to the Lakers in the finals. And we took that one game in LA, and he balled out. We ended up losing the series. He balled out every game. But the Lakers were clearly a better team. But he went down swinging. I don't remember Iverson having a bad game during that series. And it's like, these dudes these days got all kind of excuses. All kind of excuses. What we looking like? Early score, 7-3. Still too early. Let's go. We got the ball. Let's go. Let's get it on and popping. And also, one of the things I wanted to do, let me see. Let me get my thing going on. Like I just said, if you're going to claim to be an MVP, I need an MVP effort every game. We're not talking about regular season. When you end the playoffs, this is where you earn your money. So, like I was saying before, when it started in Brooklyn, we had that lackluster performance, and Brooklyn put it on us. And it was like, Embiid is all right. He just all right. No domination. But here's the thing I didn't think about. We finally got rid of Ben Simmons. He was here stealing money, didn't want to play, mental issues, everything that goes with that. Y'all know the story, don't need to repeat it. But the more important thing is, who would you rather have right now? Ben Simmons or Jimmy Butler? Or should I say James Harden or Jimmy Butler? Because the way our team was configured at that time, Ben Simmons is the reason why Jimmy Butler had to get out. Jimmy Butler wasn't going to run the show if Ben Simmons was here. So he opted out. He got out. He took he knew it wasn't going to happen. So he did what's best for him. And you can see that Jimmy Butler has been the Heat's main source of income in this series. And he is giving them the business. Not only that, Jimmy Butler knows the team intimately. He knows everybody on that squad. Knows how to play against them, knows how to D them up, all of that kind of stuff. So now you got a marquee player, an elite level player that knows about personalities, personal stuff. And that goes a long way when you're trying to beat an opponent. Yeah, Jimmy was ahead of the curve, bro. Jimmy was that asshole. He had to, and he knew he was that asshole. But every team needs one. Every team needs somebody that's going to talk back to the coach. They remember all of that mess that all of the hype that came out when they had to fight on the bench. They knew what they were doing. Jimmy knew what he was doing. He knew what they gonna do. Get into a fist fight and Miami ain't gonna play him no more. No. Mind games, head games, psychology. That's all part of the program. You sometimes, it's just like when a baseball manager will try to get the team riled up and get thrown out of the game on purpose. Sometimes you got to do that. It'll shock people into paying attention. Anybody that's getting lackadaisical on the bench kind of snaps them in focus. Stuff like that happens all the time. So, it was crazy. But it was something that needed to be happening. I saw this today, and I was thinking about the whole situation with Joel Embiid. Critical mass, the minimum size or amount of something required to start or maintain a venture. In this situation, I'm talking about all the negative talk with Embiid. What does it take for it to get started and it just maintains? All it took is for somebody to get that one quote. The media is bashing Philadelphia, or they're biased against the East Coast of Philly. And it's like, come on, man. Like, even if that's what you think and or believe, don't say it out loud, man. Because the minute they get that, they're going to have receipts. They're going to have receipts. And they're going to bring that up every chance you get. So, what's up, Karan? What do you think? What, as a competitor? I don't understand your question. What about what? Let me see. Give me about Butler. I'm not sure what your question is, Karan. Ask it again. Be more specific. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Where we at? Commercials. But yeah, man, it's. I want Joel Embiid to take this city to the championship, of course, but he is one of these new millennial type athletes, and sometimes it seems like they are more. It's not like they're worried about what's said and what's the outlook, the optics of social media, but it's like they have to say something. I just have to say something. Oh, what do I think of the Sixers rosters right now? If the starting five is not on the court, they're in trouble. Their roster is 50%. They got a really good starting five, and they got a BS bench. That's their problem. If Embiid's got to be off the floor, Maxey or Harden needs to be on the floor. So it messes up the timing. And listen, I'm not a basketball aficionado. If my grandson's on here, he could tell you some things. But I watch basketball. But I know enough to see an advantage or to see when somebody's getting out-coached. I can recognize that. You think there's any way support can step up? Yeah, but you got to be good to step up. Because at the end of the day, their bench is better than our bench. And then on top of that, we turn the ball over too damn much. Way too much. I don't understand what it is with the Sixers. They turn the ball over too much. Let's go, Maxey. Put that home. There you go. I believe that the Eagles should sign Maxey and put him at slot receiver. That boy's so quick. The great shut up and play, especially through injury come playoffs. You're absolutely right. Now, the whole shut up and play thing has gotten political. I hate even say it, but that's the way you got to say it. Stop complaining, stop bitching and moaning, and get out there and play. One of the things I used to say when I used to coach kids in basketball and when I used to coach kids in football, don't get mad, get better. If you go out there and you give me 100% and the other guy beats you, as long as you can look me in my face and tell me you gave me 100%, well, then that dude is better than you on that play. Ain't nothing I can do. But if you tell me you didn't give 100%, then me and you got a problem. That game 5, that's what that was. We got out hustled. We got out physical, everything. Miami put it on us. So immediately, especially after Joel Embiid's comments post-game, it was like, dude, say we had a bad game. You played like crap. We got to do better next time, and then walk off. The minute you talk about the MVP and that, all of that kind of stuff, now everybody knows you're thinking about it. And then you look silly talking about, if I don't say nothing, they're going to think this. If I do say something, they're going to think that. Man, who cares, man? Your job is to get on that court and ball out. Stop worrying about what the media says. And again, that's the problem. It's everybody worried about what social media is saying about them. Everybody protecting that brand and all of that kind of. I was like, man, listen. Do you have any idea how your brand would benefit from a championship? Stop playing, man. All right, they're keeping it even. Look like they're trying to play some real ball. But yeah, man, I don't understand that. What's up, Vince? Embiid could be like, oof, Eric Lindros. Wow. That's a good analogy, man. That's a great analogy. Eric Lindros, all the talent in the world, but couldn't keep his head up on the ice, and something was always happening, especially after he took that one to the head, to the chops. That was a vicious hit, by the way. Look that up. Changed his career. But yeah, you're right. Embiid, the knees, the hands, the face, it's always something. The back, it's always something. And it's interesting because nowadays, the way athletes take care of themselves with the medicine and the food and nutrition, and you got chiropractic care and massage therapy and all of that kind of stuff, oxygen therapy, cryotherapy, mental therapy. They get all of that stuff to keep you at the tippy top of your game. And the kids still can't do it. Not the kids, but the players today, they still, the ones that had that drive can do it. Everybody else just don't. And it shows you the elite level that some of these guys are at. And that's why in my lifetime, LeBron James is the best basketball player I've ever seen. But Michael Jordan is the GOAT. Because Michael Jordan had a killer instinct that nobody else since has had, with the exception of Kobe Bryant. As great as LeBron is, he'll always be considered second fiddle because he just he doesn't have that killer instinct. And now he's up in his career. LeBron is the only player that I've ever seen to come out of high school and meet every expectation and surpass it right out of high school. He went above and beyond. He brought Cleveland a championship, man. Stop playing. Cleveland. Then he went to Miami. Then he went to LA. He was trying to do, I don't know. I don't know. I guess he was trying to do it different. He just wasn't that dude with that killer instinct. That, I know people say the mama mentality, however you want to call it. but I don't think he had it. He showed it sometimes, but he didn't. When they lost that series, I believe they lost to Dallas. They should not have lost to Dallas. And if I remember correctly, when I was watching that game, there were a couple of moments where they were giving the ball to LeBron and he was passing it up like he was trying to be Magic rather than just like, listen, give me the ball and let me do what I do. So it was crazy. Dirk was nasty though. Dirk is the reason why you got all these guys, 7-foot guys shooting from 3-point range. But I ain't mad because Dirk was nasty. Dirk was straight up nasty. But everybody doesn't have that like that killer instinct like that anymore. Everybody can't have that attitude like Jimmy Butler. I see my grandson on here, and he will tell you, I said this all the time when I coached him or anybody else. You don't deal with people, you deal with personality. I can have, back in the day when I used to coach GT Stallions, I had a kid on my team. His name was Seth Henry. Seth was, we played for the 105. Seth was like 90 pounds soaking wet. But that kid would knock your head off because he just had like a pit bull attitude about him. He's the kid I could tell to say, go knock his head off. Make a play. I need you to get to the quarterback and take his helmet off. You could say that to that kid and he could do it. And then you could have another kid who was the biggest, baddest, biggest, fastest, literally strongest kid on the team. If he's got a sweet personality or a soft disposition, you can't tell him to go take somebody's head off. It's the same thing at the pro level in every sport. Some people got that killer instinct, some people don't. And you got to find the people who will be able to take the ball in their hands and wave people out the way like Jordan used to do, like Kobe used to do. It's like, nah, get out the way. I got this. I've seen Jimmy Butler do that from time to time. So, they got to do what they got to do. And right now we looking at what? We down by 6. It's still early. Embiid on the bench already? What happened? Even on TV, when you look at the bench, you're like, yeah, they're not getting it done. you look at that bench and you're like, yeah, Joel, you got to get your rest early, bro. So yeah, that's what they got to stop Hero from getting hot. Blue ball, let's go. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. What else was on the docket tonight? Oh man, listen. This dude right here. Whew. I saw this story this morning. I saw it yesterday. They were talking about it this morning. And this is what I mean about, this goes hand in hand with what I was just saying about Joel Embiid getting all into the social media mix. Everybody's got something to say. Back to what I was saying about critical mass. Critical mass, the littlest thing takes off now. That's what critical mass is right now in social media. The littlest, smallest, most insignificant thing takes off and people will be talking about it. And it's not that you don't have anything else to talk about. There's plenty of other things that require a little bit more importance. But you're talking about Tua throwing some BS passes, Tyreek Hill, and Tyreek had to slow up to get the ball. And they're like, oh, that's leading to a bad relationship. He can't throw the ball. We told you he couldn't throw the ball. It's like, no. And it's like, go back and look at the tape when the KC Chiefs played the Browns and Patrick Mahomes threw that underthrown ball to Tyreek Hill, and he put the brakes on and separated from the DB, caught the ball and scored. So, but they didn't say that it was going to be a bad relationship with Mahomes. They just picking on Tua because everybody, Tua has done nothing but what everybody asked him to do. He's in the same situation as Jalen Hurts. Although, in my opinion, Tua is a better passer than Jalen Hurts. He's in the same boat. The smallest thing, everybody's nitpicking. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people don't want him as the quarterback. And it's like, dude, let the kid play. He might surprise you. Especially with McDaniels down there, Mike Daniels, yeah. So and I saw that video and I was like, what in the world could you possibly pull from that? The dude is dropping back. He got a fishing hat on. So you know they ain't too serious. Tyreek Hill really wasn't running. He was jogging, or maybe he was warming up, wasn't fully warmed, and didn't want to launch the ball, throw his arm out. It could be 8 million things that can happen. But they're going to show that, and then they're bashing Miami's social media team. Like, why would you show that? It was like, why wouldn't you? This is just a pass. So now it's like, now even when you're just trying to keep it 100 and show it real, show what's really going on, they want a highlight tape. They want to see Tua throwing the ball 60 yards downfield and, Tyreek Hill throwing it on, catching it on his fingertips. And it's like, come on, man. That's unnecessary. That's totally unnecessary. But that's what everybody wants to see. Everybody wants a highlight tape now. And it's like, that's crazy, man. So, who knows, man? They people are crazy. They're looking for something to talk about. And every little thing, if it's not your guy, everybody's got something to say. And when you, just like anything else, the negative voice is usually the loudest. So, what's up, Greg? The negative voice is usually the loudest, man, and it's a shame, but it is what it is. So I'm pulling for Jalen Hurts. Looks like the Eagles are behind him. I was surprised. I was surprised to hear the reports that Baltimore was interested in Jalen Reagor, and the Eagles didn't bite. So I don't know. Sixers in trouble. What's the score? Let me look. No, they're not in trouble. I mean, it's still early, dude. Sixers gonna get a run. Miami's gonna get another run. So you know how that goes back and forth. Holla at me going midway through the third. So I'm watching the B with the ball. Harden. Okay. James. That's what we need. Down by 5. Let's keep it moving. Let's get some defense and stop with the turnovers, man. So it's a little bit early for that, Greg. Give him time. Holler at me at halftime. So let me see. They were talking about the schedule today. We don't know. What do we know? Let me see. I took notes. So as of right now, we've got the only 2 dates we got is week 1 and week 2. Lions and Minnesota. At Detroit, and then in Philly against Minnesota. So 2 good games. Not anybody. I mean, it's hard to say. You're not worried, quote unquote, worried about anybody right now. Definitely not worried about the Lions, although the Lions did have a good draft, but I'm not scared of any rookies. So who's to say what Jared Goff is going to do? Mm-hmm. Vikings should be a good game. I just want to see a balanced offense, man. That's all I want to see. Yep, I saw that, Vince. Eagles in Dallas. Christmas Eve. So, needless to say, somebody gonna be waking up on Christmas Day. Come on, man, follow your shot, dude. Dang on, Tyler. Somebody gonna be waking up with a bad Christmas because if we lose to the Cowboys, that's gonna be a problem. See, when them 3-point shots ain't falling, that's what I'm saying. We ain't got nobody on the boards. Joel is guarding somebody on the perimeter. And now, man, be on the blocks. Attack that glass, man. Don't get me started. Oh my God. What's up, Derry? Derry said, how many Monday night games? I don't know. We have the Minnesota game, week 2 is Monday night. Monday night, September 19th. I don't know if we're having any more Monday night games. Mr. Wing is like, the game is over. Embiid doesn't want to be on the block. I don't know about that, bro. Come on, man. It's too early. It's too early. Now you're going to shoot the 3. There you go. As long as it's all good when you make them. It's all good when you make them. That's all right. Keep the game close. Let's go. Let's go. Get on that run. Play some defense. Let's go. Somebody getting Jimmy Butler's grill. Don't let him facilitate. Don't leave nobody open, though. And come on, man. That's why we got to get somebody on the boards. James Harden shouldn't be low rebounding. Lord have mercy. That's the type of stuff me, as a football player, not a basketball player, and I see stuff like that, I'm like, if it's obvious to me, it should be obvious to them. So, I don't know, especially me being a former player, I know it's not that simple. I know that. But still, you got come on. They're paying you way too much money. What's up, twin? Y'all heard me say twin. That's my twin sister in the building. So, I appreciate her. I think I saw my mom in here earlier, too. So, all right, we got 4 seconds. Pop it. Pop it. Lord have mercy. Ooh, I see you. I see you in the quarter. That's all right. That's the bias. Okay. We needed that. That's a little bit, but I'll take the shot. All right, Tobias Harris. Somebody coming to play. Let's keep doing it. They can't lose this game, though. Joel needs to stay on his feet. Yes, he does, Evan. He does need to stay on his feet, man. Stop going to the floor unless there's a ball there. You ain't jumping in the crowd. Come on, man. You got to be smarter than that. Joel does flop a lot, though. I don't like that about him. Harden, T.O.'s killer. Yeah. Harden better. I just need the Sixers to not turn the ball over 18 times a daggone game. That's what they need to do right now. Not turn the ball over. Not turn the ball over. Real quick, also, before I forget, I got to give this dude his props, man. Got to give my dude Ray Dinger his props. You're talking about a guy walking away on top. 50 years in the business. He was on WIP the other day, announced his retirement, had a very, very emotional, heartfelt speech. Ray Dinger is one of the good dudes from Philadelphia. Like, legitimately, what you see is what you get. That's the same guy. If you were to meet him in the bar, he's going to talk football with you. He's going to talk Eagles with you. All that kind of stuff, man. He's that dude. Really nice guy. I haven't been around him often. I've been around him a couple times at Eagles alumni events. Very nice, very cordial. Remembered me. I played in 93. Everybody doesn't remember who a free agent running back who didn't play. Most people don't remember that type of stuff. Ray does. And I've said this before. If you follow me on my Facebook fan page, Pro Fan Perspective, there's only 2 people when it comes to football. There's only 2 people whose opinions, to me, is gospel. Brian Baldinger is one. Ray Dinger is the other one. Ray Diddy, them. Those dudes do their homework. They put in the work. They know what they're talking about. They're not guessing. If he's got questions about somebody, listen to it. Look it up. Okay. Because these guys do their homework. I wish they would teach classes on for fans on how to look up stats, how to watch film, stuff like that. Because one of the reasons why I started this channel was because having a fan page and listening to some of the stuff that people say, and me having played before, you're like, that's not how it works. There's some things that are universal for all sports. There's obviously differences, but there are some things that football does, baseball does, NBA does, hockey does. There are some things that are common. And some of the stuff that fans say, you're like, man, no. But Ray Dinger was one of the best to ever do it. So I was sad to see him retire, but I understand. He said he was happy to be able to go to see his grandkids' recitals and be able to go to an Eagles game and watch it as a fan and not have to. And I bet you anything, when he goes to Eagles games, he's still going to take notes. He's still going to do the stuff that he's used to doing. But for him to say he's looking forward to just going in the game and cheering the Eagles, that's pretty cool, because he's been in the game for 50 years. So he hasn't been able to do that. He hasn't been able to do that. And when you see somebody like that who's been around this long and finally get to see the Eagles get that chip, finally see them be able to get that chip, you do have a bigger level of appreciation. Having played in the 90s and experienced the BS that was Norman Brayman and all of that kind of stuff. And then you see what happens with Jeffrey Lurie come in and just the whole change and seeing it from what it was to where it is now. You're very appreciative. And for guys like that were, regardless of what he said, you knew he was honest. He wasn't going to BS you. He was keeping it 100 with you. So congrats to Ray Diddy, and I hope he enjoys his retirement. So what's going on? Okay, JoJo, we're still down by 3, but let's keep it moving. So we got to get on this run. Need some defense. So it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen. I've seen everybody does the same thing. Going back to the social media thing, I saw a post and it said something to the effect of Jalen Hurts to AJ Brown with 8 exclamation points. And it would lead you to believe that somewhere in practice, Jalen Hurts threw a ball and AJ Brown made a spectacular catch. And then they had a video. And it was AJ Brown jogging down the field. It looked like Jalen Hurts took about a 3-step drop and just threw him the ball. Nothing spectacular, nothing out of the ordinary, no black backflips, no fireworks. And it's just like, that's what I mean when I say critical mass. The smallest thing, people run with it. That you could, no, that's not what I want to see. But I don't know if people just going for clicks or, I don't know. But it was crazy. Seeing Ray hug his son after the Eagles won the Super Bowl, how emotional he got, showed you how much of it. Absolutely. There was a couple of people that talked about cried. Howard Eskin said he cried. Well, y'all know what happened with Kevin Hart. He tried to get off stage. Dummy. It was somebody else. Another famous, I think it was one of the political talking heads who's from Philly, I think. Can't remember his name. I know he put out something on social media immediately when the game was over with, and he was balling and all that kind of stuff. So, hey, man, a lot of people got emotional ties to this team. Rightfully so. Been through a lot. So, and hopefully, if you didn't see the conversation with Barrett Brooks and D Gunn with Howie Roseman, and it looks like Jeffrey Lurie has convinced Roseman to take special interest in boys from Alabama and the SEC going forward. And that's what I like to hear. Because you know where the best talent is, and for whatever reason, we were ignoring it. I didn't understand that. But it looks like there's a change in that mindset. So we'll see what's going to happen. We'll see what this new player personnel guy is going to be able to do. So our future is looking up. The Sixers, we'll see after this game. The Phillies struggling a little bit, but they looks like they trying to swing the bats now. I saw the grand slam the other day. That was just fun. And so we'll see what's happening. Who's coming up? Why is he taking the ball down the court? Lord have mercy with these turnovers, man. Whew. See, that's the kind of stuff make my hair grow. But in any case. What is got me rubber naked? Oh, 35. Okay, there we go. Yeah, let's keep. Did we lose the ball or we get the ball back? 12 points. Okay, JoJo, 12 points in the first half so far. Let's go. 2 for 3 from the 3-point line. All right, I like it. Keep it up. Oh, we got the ball back. Cool. Thought we lost that. So I'll tell you what, man, depending on what happens. Okay, Maxie. Whew. I want that boy a slot receiver, man. I see you, Maxie. D him up, D him up, D him up. There you go. Nope. Come on, man. Get up. Get up. There you go. That's where you're supposed to be, Joel. Y'all get me started, man. Chris, you got jokes? You got jokes? My grandson got jokes, but he must forget who cooking the barbecue this weekend. So stop playing, son. Stop playing. Yeah, Karan, he does, but at this point, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. Why would you stop? He made that way too difficult. Way too difficult. Dude, just keep going to the basket and just dunk on these fools, man. I don't I do not understand what's going on with some of these players these days, man. Dude, you are 7 foot something. Go to the hoop. Sheesh. But all right, let's keep playing. Let's keep playing. Oh man. But one more thing. We have, if you haven't, let me check where we are right now. Please subscribe to my Facebook fan page. I am at 490. I remember when I was at 75 and it's grown to 490. I got to get to 500 so I can double it and get to 1K so I can double that and so on and so forth. So please go on my Facebook fan page at ProFan Perspective on Facebook. Join the group. This group is tied into this podcast, and we're trying to do it every Thursday, trying to make it grow. Trying to get all, if you belong to a different Facebook fan group, bring those people in the chat. I want to see you guys in the chat. I will shout you out in the chat. Yes, I respond. I do engage and have conversations. My motto is I keep it 100 and I leave this toxic on the bench. So I'm not trying to get into arguments, but if you have a good point, I will let you know you have a good point. If I got pushback, I will say I got pushback or rebuttal or something like that. I like to have smart conversations. There are some people that know more than me. There are a lot of people who don't. But I try to keep it respectful and I try to have good conversations with a lot of different people. I've had people always mention Kansas City Chiefs because one of the guys I played with in college, Jason Dunn, played 8 years with the Kansas City Chiefs, played 4 years here in Philadelphia, and he's a friend of mine. So, I'm trying to get opinions on the whole NFL. Even though I'm based in Philly, I talk a lot about Cincinnati because Cincinnati is where I'm from. You heard me say before, I bleed green, but I was born in the jungle. Don't get it twisted. So I will always rep the Cincinnati Reds, the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati Reds, we ain't really saying that right now. Yeah, they look bad. But the Bengals I will rep. I was hoodaying when they were in the Super Bowl. Almost got there. But I do bleed green. But I talk to everybody, man. I will talk to everybody. Trying to keep it real. Trying to have some fun. Trying to do some things. If you got some things you guys want me to talk about, hit me up. I will put it on the topic list. I will definitely put it on the topic list. So we can get it on and popping. I'll take Cowboy fans. Got to take that with a grain of salt, though. Got to wash it down with something. But, hey, I got friends that I play high school with to play for the Cowboys, too. So, and let me keep it real. When I was a kid, I was a Cowboy fan. I'm a running back. So, I was a Tony Dorsett fan. That's when it was okay to watch the Cowboys. It's not like it is now, but you got to remember, Cowboys back then was what the Patriots turned into. And the only reason that people hated them is because they won so much. When I was growing up in the 70s, I didn't like the Pittsburgh Steelers. I wanted the Cowboys to always beat the Steelers because the Steelers was winning all the time. And I didn't want to be a bandwagon. I didn't want to jump on the bandwagon. Everybody liked the Steelers because they were winning. Everybody liked the Cowboys because they were winning. Everybody liked the Patriots because they were winning. You just all of a sudden you were a Patriots fan. Or all of a sudden you were Cowboys. Well, you wasn't before. So it's a lot of fakeness. But that's what fandom does. That's what, fan is short for fanatic. So that's the way it goes sometimes. All the smoke, bro. I want all that smoke. Just because we can talk stats. Speaking of stats, that's the one thing I was talking about with the whole situation in Miami about I know I'm jumping around, but about Tua and how I was relating that to Jalen Hurts because everybody was talking that smack about Jalen Hurts having a bum arm. He doesn't have a strong enough arm. And I was like, you don't need a super cannon to throw the ball 80 yards. And I will challenge anybody. Go to NFL.com or Next Gen Stats or whatever and look up, see if you can find like all of the receiving touchdowns and see what zone was it, like 5 to 10 yard pass and somebody made a play. Was it a 10 to 25 yard pass and somebody made a play? It's not too many long bombs. The long bomb is overrated. It happens and everybody talks about it because that's what they show in the highlight clips. But it doesn't happen all the time. The short passes, the how many times did Tyreek Hill take a 5-yard slant and turn into a 50-yard play or something like that? The playmakers make the plays, not the long bombs. So having a huge arm is overrated. However, your accuracy, that is of the utmost importance. So I'm very interested to see what Jalen Hurts is going to do this year. I am confident he's going to have a great year this year because, again, I'm beating my dead horse. He will finally have a second year in the same offense. And that's what he needs. So I'm about to get off this podcast and finish watching this game. All right. Philadelphia, we up by 3. Let's keep that defense up. And hopefully we will be talking about the Sixers in the next round of the playoffs this time next week. So I'm glad I put the gloves on. It's all good, Karan. It's all good, man. Like I said, I'll keep it 100 with you, man. You keep it 100 with me. So thanks all for joining me. I will be back next Thursday, 7 o'clock. Tell your friends about me. Smash the like button. Join the A2D family. And I appreciate you joining me, and I will see you guys next week. All right. Y'all have a good week. Peace. Be safe.